Hello and welcome, one and all, to the show. I'm your host, David. I'm afraid we don't really have a name for the show yet, but we're working on it. Keep your hopes up, people. At least I hope we're going to get a name. We've got another 12 episodes of this, but I do know that we do have some guests here today with us. Us being me and Nathan over there. Hello, Nathan. Yes, that's for sure his name. We got that in the bag. Feels good. We got a victory. But yes, we are going to be joined by Jamie. Anyway, let's get over there. Joining us here this week is Jamie. Is that how I pronounce your name?
That's correct, yes.
Hey, perfect. We got there. the social media manager at Autus, who is here to talk about a new program.
Imagine, that's right.
Imagine. I'm getting my pronunciations good. That's a good start. So can you give us an overview of what it's all about exactly to the viewers?
Yes, of course. Imagine's a new program, and basically it's about image creating and image editing, and also using a more modern form, I suppose, of AI, which is called artificial intelligence. This is more of a modern phenomenon, and it's something that's changing all the time, but we're going to touch on that. It's sort of looking at different ways of creating images, because they are actually quite highly sought after skills in the workplace, because most companies have social media these days, websites, and using images in leaflets and marketing materials, for example. So the first part of the program is to actually use the in-world camera, the Firestorm camera, which looks rather innocuous, but it's actually a really powerful little piece of kit, and there's a lot you can do with it and edit on it before you even take the images out. So we'll look at that and tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. And then we're going to be looking at more photo editing. So that would be taking the image out and then using photo editing software, where there's quite a wide range of different products. But I have found one which is fantastic, and it's free to download, so everybody can use it. And then the final part of the program is looking at employment opportunities, where this sort of work, where you could perhaps potentially earn an income from. That could be web designing, it could be, again, social media, as I say, website design, that sort of thing. So it's sort of in 3 parts, but it's going to be a very fun program that I hope everybody will enjoy.
Yeah, sounds it. So there's a lot of employment opportunities from this kind of thing, because I'm guessing a lot of companies out there or whatever needs sort of a visual representation of things.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, it can also be used for making things like logos, which of course most companies have, and every now and again some of them may want to change them. It's also about using text on images, again, which is very useful for logo and also promotional work, for example. So yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities available, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. Does Nathan have any views on this?
Thus, I wasn't paying attention. I was gaming in my head. But on all seriousness, it does sound like a really useful and fun program.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope so, and I hope everybody. I mean, you can use any images that you want. So, I mean, if you're a photographer, if you use your mobile phone, for example, you could use that. Or if you like taking photographs in the grid, then you can do that. There's lots of different ways. And of course, when we come on to artificial intelligence, I mean, that's a whole new ballgame. And that technology is still being developed as we speak. So
is that does that involve programming an AI? That's all.
No. There's sort of 2 ways you can do it that I'm aware of. There might be more, and as I say, we're only touching on this because it is very new. You can use it via the web, and there are various programs. The one that we'll be looking at is Stable Diffusion and Dream Studio. I think AI was used also a lot in visual imagery anyway, in film in cinematic scenes, in films and that sort of thing. But they're still harnessing the technology and testing it to see how it can be used. So you can use it via a web page, or the other one is via voice. But I haven't used a lot of that, so I think we'll be mainly using the website for that one.
Yeah, sounds technical.
Yeah, a little, yes.
Yeah. But people in the program will be like starting off with the basics.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Making slow progress. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I say, why not use the in-world camera? I mean, if you you can actually do editing even before you take it out. So there's and it also helps to take better pictures. So there's all those little things to learn, and then, as I say, we can move on to doing a bit more.
What got you into doing this kind of program?
Well, I've been working with images for the last 4 years, and I have used Firestorm using other platforms like Second Life, and there the landscaping and imagery is more sophisticated than it is here on the OS grid, and it developed as a hobby initially, just to be creative, and I did try to learn Photoshop, which I found very complicated. I don't know if any of you tried that one, but I did try to learn that when we were in lockdown as a way of developing and learning my own skills. But then I found a much better program, which is the one software package. So that's how I got into it, really, and I've learned more sophisticated ways of using the software and making better images, and that's really how I got into it.
I see. Who would be most beneficial for this kind of program, do you think, in terms of a career?
Yes, I think probably somebody who might be into social media, marketing, promotional, that kind of work, because before we had the computers and everything, that kind of work was done like in mail shots or newsletters and that kind of thing, but it's all online now, of course. So, it's, I think that sort of work. So we'll be looking into those kind of careers. But actually, funny enough, me getting this job here at Autus was due to me doing images. So you never know. You never know where it might lead you.
All right, then. I think we can wrap up.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for having me today. I'm very honoured.
Great. Yeah. Alright, well, we are going to be talking about video games. So what games have you been playing recently?
Well, actually, I've got my eye on this new game that's coming out on the Switch in about 6 days from this recording. Now, it's already on Xbox and Steam, but it's coming out on the Switch in a couple more days.
So it's one of those games that seems to be a thing. It's like they bring out a game for one console and then it's out on the Switch a little bit later, I always find.
Yeah, but still, I haven't actually played this, but I'm looking forward to the Switch version, and there's plenty of people who've already, posted tons of stuff about it.
Yeah, and of course with the handiness of the Switch, you can kind of take it on the go as well. So.
But let's get over to what the game is called. It's called Cassette, and I believe it's one of the reasons why cassettes are coming back into fashion.
They are?
Well, that's what I heard, that's what I saw on a little newsfeed on my phone the other night.
Well, we can throw the CDs away then.
I wouldn't go and do that. Like I said, it's coming into fashion.
I'm looking forward to my next game console using tape.
Classic. Now, when most people see this game, people are naturally going to think, oh, is this just another Pokemon clone? No. It's not a Pokemon clone. It's actually becoming a sort of new branch of gameplay. Like what FNAF did with point-and-click survival horror? Now there's going to be a little bit of a genre called Monster Collecting RPG. Differentiated from Pokemon, a game's gonna have their own little spin to it. And what's more of a spin then, instead of catching the monsters and, using them, in Cassette Beast, you become the monster.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, by recording the monsters onto a blank tape, then suddenly, boom, when you're in a battle, you can become them.
What is that reminding me of? That is reminding me of something. There is something out there.
Digimon did something like that in the later series.
Digimon, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that did it.
If a battle, because there is basically two, like a team of two, the player and their partner, which is what like 4 people. But if a fight's really not going your way, and you're back against the wall, you can actually fuse yourself in monster form.
So there's no kind of like training, like a monster or anything.
Oh, there's plenty of training, because when you level up a monster high enough, you can actually remix their tape, and they can take on new forms and stuff like that.
So that's like the Pokemon Evolve kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but some of them have different Digimon games. But it's all mixed together. And there's also this game apparently has a special AI that can fuse the monsters uniquely, like in the battle you're fusing.
If you can like fuse different ones together to get different stuff.
Well, it's basically the monster your partner is using and your monster, but it only happens during that fight. It's not a permanent thing, because you have to defuse and turn back into human cell after the fight.
So each battle can be different in that aspect then?
Oh yeah. And of course, you're not just unlike Pokemon, but unlike Pokemon, you're not stuck with the same set of moves. Because you can actually apply stickers to the monster tapes that give them different moves.
Ah, that's an interesting way of getting stuff out.
Yeah, and plus, there's whole new, elemental reaction. Like, for example, there's a type of monster called a plastic type, and if they get hit by a fire type, they become poisonous.
Warning us about the global warming already.
Let's not go down that little route. I know it sounds really confusing, but there is a fandom wiki where you can actually go up and see the elemental reactions.
Alright, well, do you know the name of the website?
It's just basically Cassette Beast fandom wiki.
Alright, and it's coming out in 6 days.
Oh, it's already out, but it's coming out on the Switch in 6 days.
If you're looking for it on the Switch, it's in 6 days. So, according to my diary, that looks like it's going to be the 23rd of May.
Actually, it's the 25th.
Fair enough. Yeah. My director's yelling at me. Well, guys, we've covered some interesting stuff today. There's also one thing else I would like to mention. Where is she hidden it? Here it is. But we are doing a thing called Autus at Night around here. And with the one coming up in particular on Tuesday the 23rd of May, that's where I got that date from, is a building your own character night.
Ooh.
So we get to make it, just like my Bomberman here on my desk, if anyone can get a nice shot in on that. That's something that I've made here. In doing that, anything here at Autus. And also if you want to register for Imagine, check out the registration page of Autus. And I'm guessing that might be a link in the description of this video as well, if we're going to do that. My director has yesed me to death. Well, not yet.
Yeah, but it's still in my ear as well.
Yes, and thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye for now.
And good night.